Okay, I think we've got time to go for one
Not
more.
taking orders right now. Got a problem with it? Bring it up with Cassandra.
I'm the Herald of Andraste, friend. Do you want to fight?
Still a lot of rifts left all over. Little cracks in the sky.
She can seal those, though. The Herald of Andraste.
Someone had better. You won't seal those rifts with the chant of light.
Yeah, I vaguely remember there's different songs.
Have her in chains. I thought Seekers knew everything.
You all saluting me? Can I get in through that window? Of course I can't.
Good luck sealing those rifts.
Okay, got to loot it the second time.
I believe Seeker Cassandra would like to speak with you.
Okay, let's go speak to Seeker Cassandra. Assuming she doesn't lock us up again. Yeah, there's bound to be something over here. Let's give him a wide berth. Pretty sure if we walk there, we trigger a cutscene. Hidden chest. The potion man's over here. Something about the grey.
I believe Lady Cassandra wanted to speak with you.
Fear me, but follow. Right. And this is what most of this game is, wandering around. So I have never beaten it, because it gets really tedious really quickly. So a lot of people are giving me sort of tactics to not get bored to death playing a game. And if people give you tactics to not get bored to death playing your game, you've done your game wrong.
Chancellor Roderick says that the Chantry wants nothing to do with us.
That isn't Chancellor Roderick's decision, sister.
Yeah, I know about the Fade. Trying to tell me about the Fade, son.
Have you gone completely mad?
Yes.
Should be taken to Val Royal immediately. To be tried by never become
Ah, the dungeons. Ah, what? Was that my head? I'm not that tall. It's all about the two divines. Depends how into your Dragon Age lore you are. For instance, I love Dragon Age 2 and I'm well into it. Like really well into it. Huh. I've never been able to open that before. How come I could open that? Oh, it's the Black Emporium, is it? Is this the Black Emporium? No. I think it is. No, it's just some stuff about how Andraste burnt to death. How come I've never been able to get into there before then? That's the first time I've ever been in that room. Can I open this one? Last time I was a rogue, I couldn't pick any locks. I had to get Varric to do it all. And he needed deft hand fine tools. So I'm not sure. Is this some kind of DLC thing? Like, you can't open this unless you've brought DLC, because I've clearly got loads of DLC. I didn't spend much on it. Sorry, BioWare. I spent like a couple of bucks at best. Misplaced notes. I could never open any of these before, or I don't know. Whatever. Anything in here? No. But I can just open all the dungeons for some reason. Smack her head on that. Look at that quick turn. Nothing else in here then? No. Okay. So, the last time I played this, I couldn't open any of that, and there's nothing different in my game other than this Canary outfit. Which is kind of cool. So I understand it, they're a big focus in the DLC. Which we'll get to. I've been told not to play it until I've played everything else. I will abide by that. Yep, the maker kind of left you. And if you remember what...
We can use that. If you find anything, please bring it in.
Do you remember what our friend Corypheus said in Legacy? Said the city was supposed to be golden, it was supposed to be ours.
I believe Seeker Pentagast was looking for you.
Oh, but Jesus. What's up, G's?
Chain her! I want her prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
I did everything I could to close the breach. It almost killed me.
Yet you live. A convenient result insofar as you're concerned.
Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You, and many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to her for help.
So her survival, that thing on her hand, all a coincidence.
Providence. The Maker sent her to us in our darkest hour.
Are you sure? You believe I'm innocent? You serious? What more do you want? I'm not a chosen one. Yeah, I'm not a chosen one.
You realize I'm an elf. A Dalish elf.
I have not forgotten. No matter what you are or what you believe, you are exactly what we needed when we needed it.
Yeah, I tried to play as a pious
The breach
human.
remains.
I didn't
and your
dig
mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, No numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
What if I refuse?
You can go if you wish.
You should know that while some believe you chosen, many still think you guilty. The Inquisition can only protect you if you are with us.
We can also help you.
It will not be easy if you stay. But you cannot pretend this has not changed you.
When I woke up, I certainly didn't picture this outcome.
Neither did we.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
Okay. I want to know who the figure was. I want to know. I want to find out what happened. How many years have I owned this game? I've never beat it. Birdies. Stupid helmets. Oh dear. Okay, that was the prologue. We have a long way to go before we catch up to where I quit. Okay. Did I just change my armor? It gave me a scout coat. +2 constitution, +2 cunning, range defense. Yeah, I'd rather have the extra constitution. Okay. Port to Haven's Chantry. Or we could go and explore now that we're allowed to talk to people. Which will be the remainder of this episode. This is how this rolls. Yep. Potions. Don't have enough of anything to do anything, but we can.
If you're not using them later, Segrit is willing to pay.
Look who's back from the dead. Again.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
It has been a rough few days.
That's an understatement. And more ahead if the weather is any indication. Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few
Can you
around
make
here.
Gatlock?
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too. You're back. And in one piece.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
Farewell.
So is that a... regeneration potion.
Perhaps another time.
Yeah, don't want to get anything yet, bud. It's Solus.
The chosen of Andraste. A blessed hero sent to save us all.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct. Joke as you will, posturing is necessary. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
Did you rehearse that?
What do you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins? Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I imagine you find some amazing things in there, alongside all the demons.
Exactly. It is occasionally dangerous, yes, but more often it's just sad to see what has been lost. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything.
It sounds fucking terrifying.
I will stay, at least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a mage rebellion. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
Cassandra trusts you. She won't let anyone put you into a circle against your will.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought.
I know her
But
pretty
now
well,
let
I
us
think.
hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
As he teleports off. Do you want to talk?
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Tell me about elves.
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
Yes, I am. The Dalish are the best hope for preserving the culture of our people.
Our people. You use that phrase so casually. It should mean more. But the Dalish have forgotten that, among other things.
Oh, but you know the truth, right?
While they pass on stories, mangling details, I walk the Fade. I have seen things they have not.
So help them? So teach them?
Fine, you think we're terrible. What about the alienages full of elves who aren't Dalish?
Why? What would it benefit some poor man in a Ferelden alienage to learn that his ancestors strode the land like gods? It would only make him bitter, or inspire him to take a foolish risk and get himself killed.
You've decided his reaction for him.
Perhaps I have. If you have questions and believe the answers will help, ask.
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Hallam Sharal. But Hallam Sharal was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the empire, and Arlathan its greatest city. A place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
Yeah, Meryl had that mirror.
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Arlathan?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish Erebels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
There's always a fall.
Is elven magic different from the magic used by humans?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in different ways. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing chantry approval, although they still frown on blood magic. Superstition. Much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
The legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
Should we piss him off?
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition?
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Devinter disapproves of it. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
Blood magic is evil. I don't mind blood magic. I think it's evil.
Every time I've seen blood magic used, it has been for some evil purpose.
I once saw a woman stabbed in the stomach with a dagger. She died slowly, in agony. It was repulsive. If the Chantry outlawed daggers, would that stop people from using them? Of course not. Some would use daggers in secret, shamed, and some would find rebellion titillating, step down the path of depravity.
So we should allow blood magic to be used freely. It works so well for the Imperium.
Devinder's foundation stones are the bones of ancient elves with slave blood for the mortar. It is an example of nothing more than gilded savagery. Pitiable in a way. They always succeed through power, so they have never had the chance to learn another way.
What What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
Are all Dalish elves like my clan?
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits, others trade freely with humans, and some have disappeared entirely to the forests.
It allows us opportunities to roleplay.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Who else is around here? We go in the pub. I didn't like the songs in this.
Can I get you anything?
What can you tell me about this area?
Adani from the apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harriet is the Inquisition's smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Segrid. His prices aren't too high. Yet. Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Yeah, I already turned some stuff into her, but she wouldn't speak to me.
Have you heard about the refugees out in the hinterlands, near Redcliffe?
There's Varric.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
None of this shit should have happened.
You don't know the half of it. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
Was Varric's nose broken in two? I'll have to look at it again.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
The breach needs to be sealed. The sooner the better.
If it can be sealed, you might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky, that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle. Need something?
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered red lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. I've had a few alchemists studying it in Kirkwall, in shifts.
Why do you have red lyrium?
My brother kept a sliver when he sold it. I'm pretty sure he held on to it because it was already talking to him. That little shard drove him mad. I had him taken to a sanitarium and eventually found the fragment in his house. We brought the shit to the surface, Bartrand and I. I wanted to find out if there was a way to shut it up. So far, it looks like the answer is no.
If red lyrium is as dangerous as you say, why do you keep it?
I've heard that shit singing to me. I know better than anyone how bad it is. In Orzammar, miners keep regular, non-crazy raw lyrium in special lead-lined containers. Actually, it's a huge secret how they're constructed. Keeps surface folk from horning in on the lyrium trade. I pulled a lot of strings and got a smith to build me 4 of them nested inside each other. Nobody gets to study it up close for more than an hour, and they have to wait a week between shifts.
He's not fucking around.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject. Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Are you from Ferelden? Or Ley?
Free Marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
If you run a spy network, why is Liliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
You're an author. What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. There's a hidden shop in Kirkwall called the Black Emporium.
That's a DLC.
I found her in a barrel labeled swag. The owner sold her to me for a ham sandwich and a pair of yellow ruffled pants.
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.